Good morning and welcome to my living room slash kitchen floor. So I pulled up my Sig Cadet Mark II's fuselage from the garage the other day, and just to kind of do a comparison to see how the wing fits on here, look at the colors difference in a bigger scale between the fuselage and the wing, and I noticed something that I had missed in my zest for covering this wing, and if you look closely you'll probably notice it too. Something about this area just doesn't look quite right. So I started looking in the manual. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did find these two pieces in the box, in addition to a bunch of other strange pieces that I've still never shown anybody. But this is like the, I don't know what this windshield fairing or whatever, and another piece here. So what happens is, and I didn't realize this when I was covering the wing because I was just interested in covering the wing, is that, if you look closely at the picture on the box, this is a fairing, or it's a very smooth shape there. So I'm thinking, well, I covered the wing, but I don't want to just leave this like this. In the event that it does get flown someday, that wouldn't be very good. So I guess the next thing that I will probably be doing at some point is, what happens here is these things get glued to the wing. So this is supposed to be beveled on this side, and it may not fit exactly right in here yet because I don't have the covering removed. But this thing sits in here like this, and this middle piece is what is setting the shape and contour for big blocks of balsa. And as you can see, I've already kind of fit this on each side and drawn the outline out, because this area and under here is all that has to be removed. So there's a lot of balsa shaping work that needs to be done, in addition to, after doing that and getting that so it fits in there, then you have to round it smoothly and do a nice little rounding job there. So there is actually quite a lot of cutting and sanding and shaping of these two balsa blocks, and I'm hoping that they don't feel like they're grade C. They feel like they're at least a B, but they're not an A. Be nice if they were an A, grade A, because that's the softest and easiest to cut. So what I'm going to end up having to do is, since I've already drawn the outlines here, the first thing I'm going to do before I glue anything is I'm going to get these things shaped to the proper shape and size, and then just keep trying to do a trial fitment here like this. Now obviously this thing actually probably goes down here a little bit more so it can sit in here flush. But then what I'll have to do is I'll have to see exactly where I need to relieve covering, because I'm going to have to draw, once these are in place, and I may just go ahead and glue this thing on there and make this one piece, with the blocks on there before I glue it to the wing. I don't know. But somehow I need to figure out the exact outline and shape. I could probably almost do it now if I just use that as my tip, and round it and cut the covering off there. And then I have to put like some clear tape around where the covering still remains on there, so that as I'm doing final gluing and sanding and stuff like that, it doesn't scuff the covering up. But I thought that was interesting that I noticed this, is that I was just in such a hurry to just cover and show how I cover a wing that I didn't look at the manual closely and figure out that there was actually more to do. Now, it's probably a good thing, because covering the wing with this on there would have been much more challenging, and here all I got to do is cut a section out and recover this thing, and that should be a good, easy shrinking job. But anyway, just a quick video showing you that, and now I've got this fuselage up in the apartment. Just have to figure out where I'm supposed to store it now. And I've been thinking a lot more about the cowling, and this is all just hypothetical. If I choose to finish this airplane up, the plastic cowling, is already drilled. The previous owner already drilled it, so it's already set to fit in there. and he's already got the top cut out for whatever engine he was going to install. I would be installing a 4-stroke engine, so the top cutout doesn't really make much of a difference to me because I'll probably just hog it all out so that it's a nice oval shape anyway. Retapping these mounts would be a little tough, but the most difficult thing here is that he's actually glued the fuel tank in here. So this fuel tank, I don't know for sure how competent this person was about setting up a fuel tank or anything. So it's one of those things where I would just be going on blind faith unless I want to dig inside here, if I can get this angle right, and dig that thing out, because he's got a nice balsa brace back here to hold the tank in like I would always do too. I'm trying to hold this and get it in front of the camera. But I mean, this tank doesn't even move. It's firmly attached because he glued, there's some sort of a silicone type glue here. So, I mean, the tank might be fine, but the way he's got these brass tubes angled, I would have to cut those, and that's easy enough. I could just cut them with a Dremel. But the real thing would be either replacing these or re-drilling and tapping these for a 4-stroke engine. But anyway, so these are some of the things I'm looking at with this cadet, and we'll see how things progress.